Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shah, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shah, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shah, Kol Lo Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem, Rachak Dash. Double honor to the apostles, a great millstone who rule well, who teach well, where we learn this knowledge, wisdom, and truth from. This is Lakamah from the Virginia branch, a great millstone, back with another lesson. Let me check real quick. I'll make sure I'm good to go. All right. Um, yeah, real quick. I'm at the plantation. I'll try to do these, quick little hits while I'm at work when I can. My brother put this up on social media, and I read it real quick. First, I read the highlighted part by Henry Berry. It says, then, Spirit told me to read the whole thing, and scriptures jumped off the pages. And basically, these are well-known E's. I don't know if we could say the whole thing without getting flagged still, so I'll just say these are well-known E's. They say Abraham Lincoln was questionable or whatever. They roll in the spirit of E, and their statements prove it. So I just want to run through the statements real quick and pull a couple scriptures out to back it up. So the first one is Benjamin Franklin, which was a scientist, we know. That's the Lord Liberty Bell, I believe, in Philly. It says, why increase the sons of Africa by planting them in America, where we have so fair an opportunity, by excluding all blacks and tawnies, or increasing the lovely white and red. So, a lot of E's think that, we're Africans. Those were Africans on the slave ships. But first thing I thought of was Deuteronomy 28, because he said, why increase the sons of Africa, which is truly Israel, by planting them in America? And how were we planted in America? Let's go to Deuteronomy, the curse real quick. Deuteronomy 28, or one of the curses, I should say, 68. And it says, and the Lord Yahweh shall bring thee into Egypt with his Matazarium, which means the house of bondage, again with ships, by the way whereof I spake unto thee. Thou shalt see it no more again, and there ye shall be sold unto your enemies for bondman and bondwoman, and no man shall buy you. And we know that word buy goes back to redeem. So when he says, why increase the sons of Africa by planting them in America, where we have so fair an opportunity, by excluding all the blacks and tawnies. And that word tawny, matter of fact, I'll get it for you. Let's get that real quick. Yeah, that word tawny means tan colored, from Anglo French tawny of our, like the brownish yellow or tan leather, from French tannet, which means dark brown. The adjective, or of a light brown or to brownish orange color, the color of tan leather. So it's another pigment of jade, essentially, you know. And so it's saying by excluding, basically all the jade and the increasing of the lovely white and red, and we know they're not white, they are red. That's correct. You know, that's the mindset of these E's, keep us down low, keep us in restraints, Thomas Jefferson is the president of America. It says, I advanced it. It says, I advanced it, therefore, as a suspicion only, that the blacks, whether originally a distinct race or made distinct by time or circumstance, are inferior to the whites in the endowments of both body and mind. And that just sounds retarded. Because, well, let me go to the first part. It says, I advance it therefore as a suspicion only that the blacks, whether originally a distinct race, and what makes us distinct? Let's go. Uh, I hope I'm spelling it right. Yeah, Deuteronomy 14 and 2. It says, for thou art a holy people unto the Lord Yahweh thy power, and Yahweh hath chosen thee to be a peculiar people unto himself above all the nations that are upon the earth. You know, so we're a different uh, group of people, and it's not just the black man; it's the so-called Negro, Latino, and Native American. You know, but they wrapped us all at one as one at one point. You know, so it says, "I advance it therefore as a suspicion only that the blacks, whether originally a distinct race, so they knew we were different from the beginning, or made distinct by time or circumstance. Well, we are different, even with certain time and circumstance, because look at the curses we went through. Look at what I just brought out to Deuteronomy 28:68. You know, being cursed in the field, cursed in the field, cursed in the city. You know, due time and circumstance, we are definitely different than the rest of these people. You know, even though originally the Most High said it from stone that the Yashar Allah will be different than the rest of these other nations. We're peculiar and holy. Holy means set apart, right? But then they sit here and lie, say, are inferior to the whites in the endowments of both body and mind. They like to say that they're smarter than us. We already know that. But come on, physically, you know damn well Jake is, we surpassed. Why we think we're the best dancers? We're in all the sports. We created the music. You know, we're just, hey, let me get that. See if I can find that. Jeremiah 10:16. It says, the portion of Jacob is not like them, for he is the former of all things, and Israel is the rod of his inheritance. Yahweh of hosts is his name. So we are the former of all things. So we're basically the salt of everything. We're the transmission of this thing. We keep things rolling. Simple as that. So let's go to Abraham Lincoln. It says, another president, there is a physical difference between the white and the black races, which I believe will forever forbid the two races living together. Now let's stop right there. Genesis 25:23. It says, and the Lord said unto her, two nations are in thy womb, and two manner of people shall be separated from thy bowels, and the one people shall be stronger than the other people, and the elder shall serve the younger. So right here, there is a physical difference between the white and the black races, which I believe will forever forbid the two races. Slovakia, living together. So, two nations are in thy womb, because Rebecca said, let me go back there. Maybe I should have went up a little bit. It says, and Isaac entreated the Lord up for his wife because she was barren, and the Lord entreated of them. And Rebecca, oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, was barren, and the Lord was entreated of him. And Rebekah his wife conceived, and the children struggled together within her. And she said, if it be so, why am I thus? And she went to require of the Lord. Yeah, because they were, struggling in the womb, and that was very spiritual. You know what I mean? So there's going to be differences because it's two different nations. It says, while they do remain together, there must be the position of superior and inferior, and I, as much as any man, am in favor of having the superior position assigned to the white race. Yeah, they wanted it, but who was the superior? Jacob. I just brought out that Jacob is the former of all things, and the reason why he wants to be dominant because they know they sold their birthright. And what else? Let's go to I know where I'm gonna go. Yeah, let's go right here. Second Ezra 6:9. This is why. They know what's up. It says, for Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. The hand of the man is betwixt the heel and the hand. Other questions, Ezra's, ask thou not. And that's all spiritual because we know when E came out, Jacob held the hill of E, and that's very spiritual because we got next. So they want to stay on top, but they can't stay on top because it's already written. This is the mindset of E. They want to make it seem like they're just all around above us. Now, yeah, right now, they got this is their kingdom. They have the blessing of the field. They have the sword with them right now. But even though they have them two blessings and we're on the low, we still are the former of all things. We still do what we can do, even at a low state. So imagine how it's going to be when we get our true glory. So I'm going to finish this out with Henry Berry, and this is what really had me do a lesson on it. It says, Virginia House of Representatives. It says, we have, as far as possible, closed every avenue by which the light may enter the slave's mind, right? And we remember with Nat Turner, they had him reading the slave book. They took out almost all of the scriptures and just had the parts that were conducive to the slaves, obey your master, this and that. But even at that low state, we got the spirit on us, and the Lord's working with Israel, no other nation, right? And we woke up out of that. Them dry bones started getting a little water and oxygen, and tendons and things that we needed to live, right? It says we have, as far as possible, closed every avenue which the light may enter the slave's mind. If we could extinguish the capacity to see the light, our work will be complete. And what do you think about with that? They don't want you to know who you are. They want to keep you at a low state. That's Psalms 83. It says, for lo, this is verse 2, for lo, thy enemies make atonement, and they that hate thee have lifted up the head. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people and consulted against thy hidden ones. This is crafty counsel. It says, if we could extinguish the capacity to see the light, our work will be complete. They would then be on the level of the beasts of the field, and we should be safe, right? It says, they have said, come, and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Yasha'Allah may be no more in remembrance. For they have consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against thee. And that's what these people are. They're confederate against us. They want us to keep the light away from us. Because if you have the light, then what you have? Essentially, you have Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. Let's go to Isaiah 8:20. It says, to the law and to the testimony, if they speak not according to this word, it is because there is no light in them. And back to this, they gave us the slave scriptures, the slave Bible. They didn't give us the whole word. Scripture said eat the whole roll, but they try to keep the whole roll from us. So we wouldn't have the light. And what are we without the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding of the scriptures? What are we? We are beasts. The only difference between us and these animals is we have the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding of Yahweh Hashem Yahshua, the word. But this is what the mindset of our enemy, our adversary. They want to keep us in a low state. But guess what? Hey, before I get there, the reason why they're doing that is what? Revelation 12:12. It says, therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe unto the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea. For the devil is come down unto you having great wrath, because he knoweth he have but a short time. So that's why he's doing this. But hold on, let me switch out my AirPod before it dies. Yeah, let's go to Psalms 149, because this is the end game. We all right with all the madness that they put us in. Why? Because we praising a new song, and that new song's to come soon. It says, praise ye the Lord. Sing unto the Lord a new song, and his praise is in the congregation of the saints. Let Yasha'Allah rejoice in him that made him. Let the children of Zion be joyful in their king. Let them praise his name in the dance. Let them sing the praises unto him with the timbrel and the harp. For the Lord taketh pleasure in his people. He will beautify the meek with salvation. And that's what we're getting. Let the saints be joyful in glory. Let them sing aloud upon their beds. Let the high praises of the Most High be in their mouth, and a two-edged sword in their hand, to execute vengeance upon the heathen and punishment upon the people, to bind their kings with chains and their nobles with fetters of iron, to execute upon them the judgment written. This honor have all his saints. Praise ye Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. And that's what we have coming. So that no matter what he thinks about us and what he devices he has to keep us down, we know at the end of the day we got next, and we got next and forever. So with that, I hope this was edifying. Till the next time, we'll say Kol Lo Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem, Rachakodash. Double honors to the apostles, a great millstone. Kwam Yasha Allah, Wolf Lobabor. Shalom.